Hi everyone, Rene Bastarache here, and today we're going to speak about how no one can make you happy or sad. You know, we've all heard many times or maybe even experienced these feelings ourselves of, oh, he makes me so mad, that guy. Or, she makes me so happy. Or maybe even, that guy just ruined my day. Did you know that no one can actually make you happy or sad or anything else for that matter? It's all a choice. So let me go over 5 things to consider before you let someone affect your attitude in the future. Number 1, it's very important that throughout your day you become an actor rather than a reactor. How many times somebody tells you something and you fly off the handle? You're reacting to what they're saying. How about if you acted instead? Number 2, only you can allow yourself to be, feel, or respond. You can respond the way you want. Let me give you an example. Years ago, Raluca and I lived in Romania. We lived there for about 6 months with our family. And we had a really good friend. His name was Liviu, and he was a cab driver. Now, we lived in Bucharest, which is a big city, and initially we didn't have a car when we got there. So Liviu was on retainer. He would basically stay in the front of our building all day long. Whenever I wanted to go anywhere, we jumped in a taxi and we went. Now, the wonderful thing about it is this guy had an attitude you wouldn't believe. He was perpetually happy, and he was an actor rather than a reactor. Now, in a big city, of course, there's a lot of people cutting you off and yelling at you and swearing at you and giving you motions with their fingers. And whenever somebody yelled at Liviu, he'd just unroll his window, he'd look at him, he'd go, "I love you!" Of course, he'd do that in Romanian, and it was hysterical. To whatever somebody threw at him, it was always, "I love you! You're wonderful! I love you!" And he'd just do that over and over. Happiest guy. Now, when somebody's angry and he yells, "I love you," and he wasn't doing it mean-like or sarcastically, he was just like he meant it. "I love you!" And people were really like, huh? They looked puzzled as we drove off. We'd be sitting in the back of the car and we thought it was so funny. It was so great that this guy wasn't getting upset all day, especially since he was driving us around. You don't really want a taxi cab driver that's really upset all day long. So something you can do is, maybe you could think of a canned word or response like he did that you can use when someone gets you upset. What about, "Have a beautiful day," or "I have to go now"? Or maybe even a word. Every time somebody says something negative, you go, "Apples," and walk away. Yeah, it's going to confuse them, but what does it matter? You decided to act rather than to react. It reminds me of my granddaughter. This happened a few years ago when she was little. I used to call and she'd talk to me on the phone, sometimes. And one time I was talking to her on the phone, and right in the middle of the conversation, she goes, "Pepe," Pepe's grandpa in French, goes, "Pepe, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Bye-bye." And she just hung up the phone and left. I was flabbergasted. Then I started thinking how funny it was that she said exactly what she felt. We were talking, and of course, talking to Pepe, sometimes it might not be as exciting as some of the things she's doing. Well, she was in her bedroom talking on the cell phone, and she had all these toys she was playing with. She wanted to go back and play. So she just said, "Pepe, I don't want to talk anymore. Bye-bye," and left. I mean, I thought it was great. I can't tell you how many times after that I used that myself. I mean, Raluca and I will be doing something. I'll look at her and go, "Raluca, I don't want to do this no more." And I just turn around and walk away. She'd start cracking up because she knew exactly why I was doing that. You know, it was as a result of Jordan. But it works. So sometimes a good option is just to say or do what you want to say or do. You're acting rather than being a reactor. Number 3, it's important to take 100% control of your life. What's the opposite of that? Is being a victim. Don't allow anybody else to take control of your life. It's yours. Or to take control of your attitude. Number 4, anyone's opinion of you is a reflection of their own inadequacies. Think about that. Anyone's opinion, so if someone's pointing a finger at you, it's a reflection of their own inadequacies. It's not about you. So when they point that finger at you, okay, I'm pointing this finger at you right now. Kind of looks like the Uncle Sam poster, that no matter which way you go, I'm pointing at you. But look what's happening. I'm pointing And there's 3 other fingers pointing at me. Okay, it's about me, not you. So when they're pointing at you, they're pointing at themselves. Most of the time, they're envious of you, but lashing out due to their own guilt or inadequacy. So keep that in mind. Remember, no one can drive your car unless you give them the keys. You can't control other people's actions, but you can be responsible for your reactions. That's it for today. If you'd like to see a written outline of this or any of our other programs, go to americanschoolofhypnosis.com/blog. They're all right there. Thanks for visiting, and be sure to subscribe so you can be notified of new episodes as they become available.